There exist such long journeys. I took a journey to go back to my sadness world. That world is not as simple as I thought, but a large, complex and confusing world. Consequently, my journey is very long. I called my sorrow as unnamed sadness, because it was difficult to understand it, and its roots are unknown. After a long time searching, I could finally figure out why I have to endure such eternal sadness. Since I was still a fetus, I felt so lonely. Through my mother's words, I knew that I was an unwanted child. My parents planned to stop having kids after giving birth to my sister. Everyone thought she is the youngest child, so she is quite pampered. After 2 months, my mother realized that she was pregnant and difficult for her to accept it. My father encouraged her to welcome me. I only knew that, but how my mother loved me was a question mark that I couldn't find out. Since I was born and grew up, I had to live in a weird environment. I have never felt the true love from my family. Because of the disadvantaged circumstances, my parents always have to work hard without having time to care for their children. They went to work from Monday to Sunday, so we children at home had to take care of each other. There are rarely times in which my family reunited with each other in a warmly and fully way. I have never experienced fatherly love, or motherly care from anyone. They never knew how I feel, what I need, because they didn't have time for us. I have neither of them come to the parent meeting like many other children. Sometimes I asked myself, what is love, what is attention? I don't know why. Since I was a child, I was timid, slow, quiet, and scared of people, which separated me from the world that I called normal out there. It seems that I have never talked, confided or shared with anyone because I always felt different. I've never had a single friend in my life. I was afraid of my father from a young age. That fear made my life become a prison. I thought that if I am a smart, quick, resourceful person, I might not in vain. But ironically, my shyness, frightened, and slow pace increased my fear. His sad face is so scary. I couldn't sleep or eat well, and I was not free to do anything when my father is near, or just thinking of him. Those things grew with me over the years. I was frightened of him, afraid of his name, his voice, his appearance, especially when he was not in mood, he was angry or disappointed. The more fear I faced, the more useless I became. For me, his face never changed, neither he is happy or not. He never smiled at me or never spent time to care for me. How can I am supposed to be happy? The joy I had not received from my family, so how come the lineage and relatives give me that? The so-called family, brothers, relatives sound strange to me. My entire life I had to live a family like hell on earth. Everyone envy, jealous, killing each other, especially the paternal brothers. My paternal grandparents had 9 children, but they were divided and did not get along. Rarely do I see relatives, paternal or maternal, visiting each other. I have never received the attention, or the taste of love from the people whom I call my uncles, aunts. Not only that, our small house was alone at the foothill, separated from the village by 2 slopes on both sides, and a small trail leading to the back of the mountain, quite wild, and solitary. My father is a moral person, no alcohol, no smoking, less talking and less social interaction, so it seems that there are no friends or family members visiting him all year round. Naturally, we live separate from the outside world. For others' families, all the feasts, or any occasion are always special, and it's an important opportunity for them to be together with families, relatives and friends, but for us not at all. I have never experienced the specific of any feast. All were happened alike, normal and tasteless like every day. Perhaps, the word normal accompanying me so long, that I have no others feeling. In the school, even though my study was not so bad, I was always timid and shy. Because of the carelessness from my family, I was bullied, threatened and beat by my siblings. How ironic. I felt very sad, very guilty when it seemed that I was a girl without parents attending to parent meetings. I was absent from school activities and extra classes. I always had to stand up along with distinctive students. that even made me felt sad and scared. One indispensable thing is that the sadness on my face is a genetic feature from my parents. My dad's sadness always makes others wonder and afraid, and on mother's face there exists a gloominess derived from depression and anxiety. Not only me but also the siblings seemed to have such sad faces. There was also something bothered me that was a strange feeling between my mother and I. I always want to resist all my mother's actions, gestures, and words. I was upset and didn't know why. But after finding out the cause, I learned that the discomfort, the opposing emotion is the same as that of my mother towards my grandmother, while she was pregnant. My mother's will of resistance was inherited into me. Dear audiences, you have just heard the first part story of a hidden assassin of a girl, from a mountainous in Ansan district, Indian province. In order to rewrite a short story about her illness, she had to go through a journey that was not easy at all, and it filled with boredom, fatigue, loss of hope, disorientation without any way out. The first part of the story reveals the first stage of the treatment process. Accordingly, she must find all the reasons and agents causing her sadness and confusion. Clarifying that overcast world means that she has gone halfway through her healing journey. In the next stage of the treatment process, what does she have to do in order to fight her illness? Let's see you in the next digital radio. Thank you for listening to the Radio Gerard Retreat House Real Life Stories. This program will be guided by Father John Quinluangok, a Redemptorist in Hanoi, and the members of Gerard Retreat House. We wish this hearty sharing would be useful for you. If you feel this story gives you something interesting or useful, please click the register button to update the next broadcast at 9 p.m. on last Sundays of each month. If there is any suggestion or comment for our program, please send us via email: nhatinhtamgierado@gmail.com. Thank you so much and see you again on the next program.